About ripped the rod out of my hand, dang. The old blade, baby. Is there a better combination than a spinnerbait and a bass? I think not. I think not. Springtime bass fishing 101, right? Spinnerbait. Old man's back there catching them. Got the walleye guy out here trying to catch some basses. How old do you think I was when I first caught a bass?
4 or 5 years old.
4 or 5? Young. Come back, fish the pond, catch bass. Catch whatever. Growing up fishing ponds and really just fishing small bodies of water through most of my life, I got a handful of rods that I like to bring anytime I'm going to fish pond, small body of water. Number one is probably a spinnerbait. You know, various sizes, but 1/2, 3/8 are probably the two main, and a couple different blade configurations. It's just, in my opinion, one of the most versatile things you can throw. And from the bank, having a weedless, snagless feature, like a spinnerbait does, I can fish it through brush, rock, grass. This color here is a really great clear to lightly stained. It's got a big willow on it and that Colorado kicker. So I think it's kind of a good all-around spinnerbait, but if you're gonna fish, you know, in the mud, I might go a double Colorado setup and a little brighter colored, maybe more of a white and chartreuse is a good combo. But again, you only need a handful of spinnerbaits to really cover your bases no matter when you're fishing. And kind of cover everything, deep water, shallow water. Spinnerbaits, definitely top choice. Kind of right behind that in the same breath is a vibrating jig. Again, same thing. Couple of sizes, you don't need to get overcomplicated. A 3/8 will probably do you most of the time. A 1/2 if you're trying to fish a little deeper or you just want a little more casting distance. Still pretty, you know, snagless, weedless, but if I know I'm a little more safe, I'll throw this, and it's also a good complement to a spinnerbait. From there, you gotta have a jig, something to slow down, flip around, a lay down, rip wrap. Again, no need to overcomplicate it. A 1/4 ounce jig is pretty good all around. I just fish a little heavier in general. I like a 1/2 ounce. Some compact, like a finesse-y kind of jig, I think is a good middle ground too. You can also, you know, you can swim this, you can flip it, you can crack it off the bottom. Compact kind of finesse jig is maybe your more versatile jig, just because, I mean, you'll catch fish of all sizes on it, but also you want to make sure you got a really nice brush guard on it. These ponds are loaded with rock and wood and all kinds of snaggy stuff, so you really need a good brush guard to help keep that jig out of trouble so you can keep fishing with it and keep catching fish. It's just a great do-all and catches fish all over the place. So, you know, from a bass standpoint, those three kind of get you covered. You move down the line, a lighter spinning rod. I would call this maybe a panfish setup. You know, I got a little panfish jig on here right now, but this is just something that I know I can get bit on. Whether the pond, maybe the bass in there aren't that big, maybe it's got a lot of bluegills or crappies. You know, this is a great setup to just get bit. And a lot of times you lose that with these, whereas I can cast this around and just catch fish. So a little panfish rod that you can catch bass, you know, perch, whatever, swimming around in that pond. This will kind of let you know that stuff lives there. So that's for sure in the lineup. And then lastly, you got to have a catfish rod. Most ponds, especially farm ponds, are going to have channel cats in them. And what's more fun than wrangling kitty cats? It's one of the most exciting things you could do. Channel cats, cold water, cut bait. You know, nothing fancy. It's just like 65-pound braid. This happens to have a float on it, but you could easily put a bottom rig. But just something I can leave alone. You know, in a lot of states you can use multiple lines. I could put this in a rod holder and I can go fish around and notice my bobber's gone, or, you know, have a clicker on the reel and hear that fish pulling line and go over and catch basically a bonus fish. But, you know, no need to overcomplicate it. A backpack, whatever you want to shove in there for tackle. Man, you're ready to go have a good time in, you know, any body of water in the country, but especially on these ponds, something you can just throw in the truck, real easy to transport, real easy to carry around. When you pull up to a pond, I know clean water, dirty water, cold water, you know, summertime, it doesn't matter. You're gonna catch fish on this stuff here.